So yeah, this is from the homework. It said, name a pair of parallel lines. What would I see in this picture to know the two lines are parallel? Yeah, the two little arrows, like the triangles. So it means that this line is parallel to this line. So let's name the first line. Use a line with arrows and then 2 points. So what is it? MK. I want to say that MK is parallel to. So what symbol is that? The two straight lines. And then it's going to be parallel to the second line, which is LS. Good. And then name a pair of perpendicular lines. Perpendicular means they intersect and do what? Make a right angle. So you'd want to look in this picture for the right angle. The two lines that are perpendicular will sit on the right angle, or the right angle sits on them. So this part of the right angle sits on this line. Some students struggled with knowing how to name it. So remember that when a bunch of lines intersect, they're not going to put a dot there, but that's point P. So knowing that, how would we name this first line? The first line. NP or PN, same thing. And then is perpendicular, what is the symbol? Upside down T. And then the right angle sits on this line. So it would be, sure, PQ or QP, same thing. Good, good. I think that was it for the homework. This is interpreting diagrams. So you're going to be given planes, like this is a pink plane and a red plane, that are intersecting, and you'll have to find out what you can conclude from a picture and what you cannot conclude from a picture. So this is what you have. Your instructions say determine what you can conclude, right? Can conclude. So we're going to write can conclude, or we're going to write cannot conclude. Can conclude or cannot conclude. So let's start with the first one. It says angle BCA and angle ACD are a linear pair. That is. So we write can conclude. We can conclude it because we can look at this picture and say, yep, that's right. The next one, it says AF and BD are perpendicular. So AF, I'll just highlight. AF and BD are perpendicular. Perpendicular means they intersect and form 90. Can I conclude that from this picture? No, because what part do I not know about? There's not a box, so I don't know if they form 90. So I cannot conclude. Then it says EG and BD are parallel. What would be on this picture if they are parallel? The little triangles. Do we see any? No. So can we conclude? We cannot. Cannot conclude. AF and BD are coplanar. Coplanar means that they are on the same plane. So you're looking at this sheet of paper as the plane. So they're both on it. So yes, you can conclude. EG and BD do not intersect. You can't conclude it. Cannot. And here's why. What do you know about lines? They never end, right? Are these two lines parallel? Yeah, we don't know. So we don't know if they're parallel. If they're parallel, then no, they wouldn't. They will never intersect, but we don't know if they're parallel. So they might intersect, they might not. So we cannot conclude. So remember, the arrowheads at the end mean they infinitely keep on going and going and going. So, cannot conclude. The next one, it says AF and BD intersect. What do we think? Can conclude. EG and BD are perpendicular. Can't conclude. Because they do not intersect and they do not form 90. ACD, which is this angle, and BCF are vertical. Remember that vertical angles are created by two straight lines that intersect. They only touch by the vertex and they're across from each other. So are these vertical angles? Yes, so we can conclude. And then last, AC. So AC and FH are the same line. What do we think? Can conclude. Yeah. So yes, because of those arrows, it means they continue infinitely and they represent the same line. This next section, it's a little bit harder. You've got a couple things going on, a lot going on, really. You've got two planes, right? We've got this plane, if I could outline it better. You've got this plane. What does the ... mean? It's behind, yeah. So it means that this one, the blue, is in front of the green on the bottom, but on the top, the green is in front of the blue. Okay? Does everyone see it? Mm-hmm. Well, I'm glad highlighting helped. So these ... just mean it does continue, it's just behind. ... It continues, but it's behind. So we're just going to go through and read these. And then we're going to put yes or no. Determine whether you can assume the statement. So yes or no is what we're looking for. Plane A and B intersect at line EF. That is true. So yes, you write yes. Yes. Points C and D are collinear. What does collinear mean? On the same line. So yes or no? No. Come on. Oops, wrong order. H, J, and I, D are perpendicular. So H, J is this ray. Then I, D, do they intersect and form 90? Yes. Then it says GD is a bisector of EF at point D. So let's look at that. GD is a bisector, so GD is the bisector of EF at point D, which is right there. What's important to note are these dashes. What do those dashes mean? They're congruent. So that means that ED, the length of ED, is the same as the length of DF. So that means D is in the center of this segment. So if D is in the center, bisector means what cut the segment in half. GD does cut the segment in half. It touches at the midpoint. So this is a yes. Yes. It says the IH is equal to HG. So what would be there if they were equal? The little dashes. But they're not there, so we cannot assume. So no. And then last, it says, this one is a trick question. I'm not going to lie to you. HJD, which is this angle. And then HDJ, which is this angle. And I'll explain this to you. So this is a triangle here. In specific, if I could draw correctly, this is a right triangle. All I did was just draw it down here. So I'm not sure if you remember or not. Does anybody know how many degrees the angles in a triangle add up to? 180. So how many degrees is taken up by the 90-degree angle? 90. So how much is left for these two to add up to? 90. They add up to 90. You don't know their measures. So the red plus the blue will add up to 90. So does that make them complementary? Yes, because these two adding up to 90, that's the definition of complementary. So this is yes. That's the only reason I said it's a trick question. We haven't gone over triangles yet. It's in chapter 5. So this is where we pause. You're going to take out a whiteboard. So Aramis, you're going to use your whiteboard as well. Here's how we do this. you're not going to do one at a time. Because if you did one at a time and I said, and you can just put yes or no. This one says whether you can assume the statement. So it's going to be a yes or no question. If you did number 13 and you put yes and I said, Alana, that's wrong, all you would do is erase it and then you would put no. You wouldn't be learning anything. So you're going to do the first 4. You're going to make sure you write the number 13 and then yes or no, 14, yes or no. Then you're going to show me all 4 of them. And I'm going to tell you whether they're all correct. Maybe you're missing one, like one is incorrect. Whatever, I'm going to tell you that so that you can correct it. Did I fix it? I did. So, Aramis, I would see your answers.
Should we write all of them down?
No, just the first 4 first.
Oh.
So Aramis, let me know when you have yours, and I'll look at the screen. Oop, sorry. Correct. All of them. So you do the second set. One of them. Aramis, you are correct. Correct. Huh? Yes. The only thing that I'll point out, this is from your ebook. I don't know why it looks like this, but this is an arrow. Like, it's just supposed to be a straight line. I know it looks weird. Sherelle, you're correct. One of them's incorrect. Right? Oh, hold on. Are you on the first set? Not one of them's incorrect. That one was good.
This one?
Yes. You just did, what you just wrote is good.
This is what I had the first one.
I know. One of them is wrong.
So one of them's wrong now?
Yes. One of them is wrong. Sorry. Aramis, can you see? Did I zoom in too much? No, it's okay. You're correct. Did you finish your scavenger hunt? You did finish, so you can. 3 of them. That was it? Oh. And now you've got 30 minutes to finish your scavenger hunt and start your test review whenever you go. You were correct. Did you finish your scavenger hunt?
No.
You can go ahead and take it out. One of them is wrong. You were correct. We can talk about them. Planes W and X intersect at KL. Is that a yes or a no? Do they intersect here? They do. That's a yes. And then points K, L, M, and N are coplanar. It would mean they'd all have to be on the same plane. Are they all on the same plane? They sure are. So that one's a yes. The next one says points Q, J, and M are collinear, which means they would be on the same line. Are they on the same line? No. And then last is MN. Sorry, I should draw it correctly. MN dot 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 and RP dot 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 intersect. They do not. Most people think they intersect here, but I know my drawing isn't pretty, but what do these dot dot dots mean? It's behind it, yeah. So you can do the last 4. You're correct. And then you were correct. So if you haven't finished your scavenger hunt, that's what you're doing. Aramis, I'm sorry if you showed me your answer. I didn't see it. Can you move the screen over a smidge? Or the board? Hold on. You are correct. Good. So Aramis, we're finishing the scavenger hunt. You might have finished it already. If not, if you have finished it, then you can take out the test review. I put that under week 8. So that's what we're working on.
Can I spray this?
Here, spray it with. Yeah, you can spray it with the blue spray and then a white. Yes, you just need to put vertical or linear after. The only ones that won't say vertical or linear are those two. But in all the pictures, I need that.
They're out of order a little bit, but I put them
Oh, I see at the end. Yes. Okay. And it goes back. Looks good. I just put vertical or linear.
like over in the boxes or.
Or anywhere you want. That's correct. And one of yours is wrong. Can I do this first? I'm gonna do this first. If you want to take a test review and start working on it, you can. So JK lies on plane X. JK lies on plane X. This is a yes, because it's on both planes. And then the next one is PLK is a right angle. Do you see a right angle in this picture? No. So that one's a no. Then it says NKL and JKM are vertical angles. Vertical angles are formed by two straight lines that cross. The angles would be across from each other. So are they vertical? Yes. And then the last one is NKJ and JKM are supplementary angles. Are they supplementary? Yes. They form a straight angle.